Many think Duquesne. Again, Coleman tonight, Gary, with 9 points, but they've all come at the line. Chester has refused to let him really get out of the driveway and get a rhythm going in the power game.
Coleman never knew he was so well liked as he was this evening. He's gathered a lot of friends every time the ball's headed in his direction. 9 points from the line, as you mentioned. Coleman, a good guy at the line tonight. You got to be an opportunistic team, and that's exactly what Erie Prep's been tonight. 15 out of 21 from the free throw line, 71%. 9 out of 12 for Chester on the other side, 75%. The game being played very well. And outside of the foul situation for Chester, which I really don't think they mind at this point, that's been the only blemish on the ball game.
I think these teams kind of needed that timeout right there to collect.
I think it would have been nice if they give the announcers a timeout there to get our breath back. I'll tell you what, this game's been breathtaking so far. Outstanding job by these two clubs.
Womack with it for Prep to Jed Ryan.
Little UCLA cut that time. The guard passes to the wing and cuts off the high post. They're looking for Coleman hard this time. They want to get the ball into the big guy and give him a chance.
Or Jed Ryan. He's option number 2, and not a bad one either.
You go to one side, look for Coleman. You reverse to the other side. There's Ryan posted up, and the big guy shows he's another part of that bookend materials. He puts it in quickly off the glass.
We are tied for the 9th time. Hunter for Alfonso Pender. Chester's played 10 players so far.
Matchup zone again by Prep as Chester sending their guards through.
Maltzby, Hunter, long 3, NBA distance, fell backwards. Pender rebounds. Back to Hunter. Thought about it, gets into a closer shot, slashes in, can't get it. Ryan wipes the iron, and here comes Prep the other way.
Hunter with a pretty move, but an off-balance finish, and that's why he missed the shot. Never had a chance to square the shoulders to the glass that time, and Prep comes back with a chance to get the lead.
Jed Ryan trying to take over this sequence of the game. Has to come back out for Anthony. Chester collapsing on him a little bit. Ryan's got good perimeter game, though. Not that time. Kenny Duck rebounds and then lost it out of bounds.
Kenny Duck got a little over anxious. He saw space in front of him and an easy basket. He just lost it out of bounds. You got to have the bread when you come away from the store. He didn't have it that time. And the turnover again for Erie Cathedral Prep. That's the 9th turnover in the game now for the Prepsters.
Jamar Shaw is off. Devon Knox is in.
Anybody thinks that Chester's wild run and gun, they only have 2 turnovers here in the first half so far. They've operated their offense full court and half court very, very efficiently.
You're going to see Devon Wade in the game. He's only a sophomore at 6'5", part of Chester's illustrious future.
Chester reversing the basketball, getting that 15-foot jumper, and there it is again. Stepping into the seams of that matchup zone.
Maltzby, Coleman ahead of everybody. See him. Oh, goodness.
Coleman's first bucket comes with a big time dunk on the other end. Coleman with 11 points here in the first half.
Get out of the pool there.
That's how you answer the bucket down here by Chester with big-time authority.
1:18 to go in the second quarter as Booker Coleman books one hard.
I think a few people are stepping up and showing their ability here tonight, Jed.
There is a lot of interest collegiately from the Quad A game. Here's
Look
Coleman right into your living room.
It's what you call a high percentage shot right here. As Coleman just tomahawks it, brings it back, and throws it down. Get out of the town.
We are tied at 31.
Trying to stop him would be like trying to put gauze in front of a semi. And again, the penetration by Chester, the one-on-one move in the baseline, and the foul. They create so many fouls with that kind of one-on-one play that you see done so well here by this Clipper team. That'll be the 3rd foul on Coleman. You'll see him go out of the game here very, very quickly.
His 2 fouls came late first quarter, and now that's a really nagging problem.
A little surprised that Coach Araby hasn't made the move yet. 1:10 to go. He may try to buy his way into halftime. He's taking a little bit of a chance with Coleman. If he does that, you'll watch him put someone in right here.
As we look at Alonzo Lewis, the head coach at Chester.
You look over at Coach Araby right now, and he's asking his assistant, should I pull him out? One assistant said no. It'll be interesting to see what happens right here.
With a rebound is Fomich.
Chester still up 1 point. Prep with a chance to take the lead again. Claire coming up next to Coach Araby. He'll get ready to come in for Coleman here momentarily if he can get him in there.
Well, considering how physical it has been with Coleman in the low post area,
Devin Wade matched up with Coleman. He's actually holding him down. If the referee sees it, he's going to nail him with a foul here shortly.
Entry goes into Coleman, free again, missed it. Coleman follows his own miss.
Hey, give Coleman credit. He made a nice catch on the lob, turned around, weak side man came across now. He missed the first shot, went back to the other side and put it away.
Chester now with just 26 seconds remaining, looking for the last shot, trailing by just one.
Now, right now, it's kind of interesting. You saw Ryan go over and say to Coleman, don't you dare get a foul. He's going to come at you here on the penetration. You stay away from the foul here. You've got 2 or 3 already.
Chester, very street smart club. They'll take it right at him. They do, and he was unscathed. Jamar Shaw.
You saw what happened. Coleman had to step away. It let the lane to the basket
Ball
open.
is stolen, and they didn't get time. Damian Hunter at the buzzer. (34-33) as we come to halftime. Chester leads by 1. It had a little bit of everything. We'll be back after this timeout in the Hershey Park Arena Boys Quad A final. There's your score. It's a good one.
Life's little surprises. You can't always prevent them, but you can protect yourself from the consequences. Warren Welsh & Thompson, with over 75 years of experience, can help. Insurance, financial planning, or risk management. Plan for the future. Because some things are too important for anything less. For all your risk management and personal or commercial insurance needs, call Warren Welsh & Thompson today.
Welcome back to the Hershey Park Arena. 10 lead changes, 13 ties. Our score at halftime, Chester 34. Erie Cathedral Prep 33. At stake, the Boys Quad A State Championship. We'll put some numbers to everything in this halftime situation for you, and we'll be back with the third quarter. You're watching the PIAA State Championship game in Boys Quad A between Chester and Erie. Again, Chester leads by 1 at 34-33. Back after this. You are looking at the Hershey Park Arena Boys Quad A State Championship game, PIAA style, and it has been a splendid affair through the first 16 minutes. 34-33 the score. Chester spreading the wealth around, and if there's one advantage I may see them with heading in, they played a lot of people in that first half. But then again, they had to. I think they were whistled for 26 fouls, something like that.
26 fouls in the first half for Chester. They just come at you in waves, though, and as you said, depth a big factor. They're not afraid to use that revolving door you talked about early and keep a lot of people fresh in there. You've got to think that the legs are going to be fresh late in the basketball game using those kinds of players.
Bill Richardson has been behind both benches throughout the first half. Bill, a quick pace, which you would expect. Athleticism personified in Boys Quad A. Should be a great finish here.
Absolutely, and I think that you're going to see the crowd become a factor here throughout the second half. I think you're going to see that keeping fresh legs in the game is going to be a factor. And I think when you look at Brooke Coleman and you look at all the situation down there and what's happening in that whole situation, he's not getting a lot of time out. And when you see that he's working as hard as he is, even his parents were commenting, they're sitting up in the stands watching, that he's getting a lot more playing time than he needs, and he needs to get a little rest every once in a while. They have not found a way to get him out, and Booker Coleman is going to need a chance to get a little bit of a break. Gary?
You look at the stats, 8 out of 19 in the first half for Cathedral Prep, 42%. Not a real terrible number, not a great number at all. On the other side, Chester, 12 out of 31, 39%. You might expect that. They come down the court quick and get at you. Half-court game, not quite as selective in their shot taking as is Erie Cathedral Prep. On the foul shooting side of things, 71% for Prep. Prep going 15 out of 21 from the free throw line, 10 of 14 for Chester for 71% as well. In the three-point field goal department, 100% the first half for Erie Cathedral Press. They were 2 out of 2. They did a nice job of stepping down there, squaring up and nailing it. The turnovers are the big numbers here. For Prep, 10 turnovers. They resulted in 10 Chester points. 2 turnovers for Chester resulted in 2 points on the other side for Prep. And again, that full court game, if you're Prep, you've got to beware of getting caught up in that kind of pace. They've done a pretty good job with that so far. Thus, they're down only 1 point here at halftime.
Well, that's how Chester has done it over the years. This is their 10th state championship game appearance. They went all the way in 1989, beating Pittsburgh Brashear by a final of 72-57. And one thing they always do is they accentuate speed and they accentuate the full court defensive game, and that's how they get around the size disadvantage.
Chester comes out and makes an invitation to a party every night, and the party's full court. If you want to come to the party, you might get tired real quick. Fortunately, Erie Cathedral Prep has dodged going to that party full time tonight, although they've bought into it a few times. Cathedral Prep isn't exactly a slowdown team. They'll run on the other end, but it's a much more controlled kind of thing. Get down there. If you don't have the clean shot, reverse the ball, get it inside to your big people. That's the recipe that's gotten them to this big dance. And now they have 16 big minutes to go to the championship, and I think it's going to be a war here in the second half.
Here's the last play of the half, and you can see Coleman dominating.
Coleman, who only got his first field goal moments before that with a dunk, puts it away again. And that's exactly what we're talking about. They got down there quickly, didn't get the shot immediately, pull it out, get it inside to the big tower Coleman. He'll do the rest for you.
One quick note from the coaching carousel. Yes, Alonzo Lewis played 10 players in the first half, but he must get a set rotation now for the stretch run.
A lot of people aren't very comfortable with playing that many players. Alonzo Lewis is. You'll probably see him come home with 7 players at the end, the last 10 minutes or so.
Damian Hunter.
Matchup zone again by Erie Cathedral Prep as we start the third quarter. They'll move out all over the floor. It's almost like an amoeba defense.
Booker Coleman playing with 3 fouls, and they go right at him early. Jamar Shaw trying to keep it alive, does, barely. Back out. Hunter, he was open, steps in. Now to Carroll left side. Erie jumping at him, and then Jed Ryan clears.
Nice move by Carroll, but good job by Ryan just getting him a little bit intimidated on the inside, and Carroll threw it off to the other side, had to change the direction of his shot.
Keith Neese, he's 22 in black to the left of your screen there. He's playing with 3 fouls. Jed Ryan, he can do it inside, he can do it outside, charges lane, and he's going to get called for charging. His first personal foul, team's first here in the third quarter.
Interesting call here to start the third quarter. You can see the ball entered down to the inside now. Ryan's going to make his move on the baseline, and across comes the big guy Watkins, and he draws the charge. Ryan picks up his first foul, team first here in the second half. Chester comes back to attack that zone.
Driving the lane that time as Hunter can't get it. Watkins, the sophomore. Maltby gets it back for Carroll. He left it long, and Ryan's got another rebound. Maltby couldn't knock it down. Kenny Duck charges by trouble. Duck all the way for Coleman. Tip. Chester saves it. Another long turnover. Little ragged here in the opening moments. Maltby, pull up, pop, left side, left that long. Rebound comes out to Keith Anthony.
No patience by either team so far in their half-court or full-court offense to date.
Keith Neese, he had a big 3 back in the first quarter. Relatively silent since then. Down to 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Championship in boys quad A. Jed Ryan has it. Big crowd gets around him. Anytime Coleman and or Ryan touch the ball, Ryan goes outside to get free. Can't get the roll, but Coleman follows with a tip with the left arm.
Big guy Coleman exerts his influence, and quickly Chester outlets across half court, back down in a hurry, and again back down in a hurry as well as Prep. They're doing a nice job now in defensive transition.
Is that the 19th lead change now?
19th lead change in the ballgame.
Nice dribble penetration move that time by Raymond Carroll, who's got 13.
Raymond Carroll real solid on that dribble. He pulls up vertically so well and buries the nice high drooper.
Neese fouled by Hunter. Hunter's first, team's first.
An old saying somewhere that fouling negates hustle. There's good hustle on the outside. You'll see the hustle here, but then he fouls, trying to draw the charge. You'll never get the charge drawn by putting that knee out like that. Foul marked up on the inside against Evans.
It's a judgment call, and that's a tough place to get even a charging call, period. Ryan out top. One of the prolific junior players. Coleman's free on the baseline. Hello.
Great job of taking away the weak side help by freeing the man up top. And then they just isolated Coleman in the hole. He's pinned the man on the high side. That was Watkins. And then put it away after he got the lob.
Once he rolled free, Hunter for 3.
Ooh, you gotta like that silk as Hunter squares up on the outside and just nothing but net. Beautiful shot by Hunter.
This game has spurts where it's electrifying. There were a couple in the first half. We may be in the middle of one here in the third quarter with 4:50 to go.
6 points of the game now for Damian Hunter as Cathedral Prep goes back. They just run their offense so well. One of the keys to running an offense is reversing the basketball side to side, getting those good shots. They set up in a 1-4 this time.
Even though Prep trails by 2, they must feel good that they're controlling at least the tempo, and a reach-in foul. Jamar Shaw, his second.
And those are the kind of fouls you just wonder about. They're not the kind of fouls you need at this point. And it's the second foul on Shaw. Second team foul in the half against Chester. Substitution into the game. Here you'll see that play. Pins Watkins, catches the ball, great catch, and then puts it up, puts it away. Watkins saddled with 3 fouls, couldn't really do anything about it. And so the big guy inside, Booker, is starting to make his presence known.
Got over and back on Kenny Duck, lost track of where he was. Great play defensively by Eric Evans, a defensive specialist. You know, you talk Coleman at 195 pounds and 6'8". Once that frame gets to 230 or 240, it becomes even more imposing.
The thing I like about Coleman, nice soft hands. He has the ability to catch the great pass.
Eric Evans gets it from Jamar Shaw. Ryan battles for the rebound and runs out of real estate.
When you're throwing lobs, you've got to be able to catch that great pass. And in order to catch a great pass, you have to have a great set of hands. We used to tell our point guards a lot, don't throw great passes if you don't have a great set of hands ready to catch them. Booker Coleman has that great set of hands that can latch onto the ball.
Carroll, right wing side is good. Raymond Carroll, he has 15.
Carroll, absolutely unbelievable from the outside as he buries the big shot.
Nice was open momentarily. Now Ryan pushed from behind. Bad foul by Carroll, his first.
Carroll looks back up at Alonzo Lewis, who flashes him a big smile and says, hey, Coach, I know I did a dumb thing there. I'm sorry. Here you'll see it. He just over-hustled down the floor, and he bumps him coming back, turns around and looks back at his coach immediately and says, hey, Coach, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do it. Here you see it from another angle. Just a little bump.
That second foul on Carroll. One thing I like about Alonzo Lewis, he just smiles and says, I don't mind if you hustle. Just think while you do it.
It's interesting where Alonzo Lewis sits on the bench. He sits at the end. So many coaches sit at the top, normal place. He sits down at the end of the bench with his kids.
50-50 ball there. It'll belong to Prep. 3:45 left, third quarter.
Good call by the referee on the far side. He had the hand in there. Referee right on top of the call. Hey, I've really got to compliment the referees in this tournament. I'll tell you, the 3-man crews have done an outstanding job.
Jed Ryan, dribble drive, left it with the right hand. Ryan still battling in there. Takes a sophomore Watkins off the floor and draws the foul. Again, we talked in the first half, Gary, about Chester willing to give up 15 to 20 fouls on the baseline. Here's a reason why.
Watch this. On the inside, you have Ryan getting it back. Head and shoulders fake. He shows it, gets the man up in the air, and then tries to go back up and gets the foul. The junior took the sophomore to school, and Watkins has to take the bench because of that great effort on the inside by Ryan, who now goes to the line.
Teran Watkins will sit down now. Ryan just about automatic at the line at 77%. Into the game in his place is Kevin Anthony now, 6'4" senior. Check that, Garrett McCoy. I'll get it right, James Hamler back.
Ryan makes
So
the
many
second
changes.
shot. 8 points of the game and timeout on the floor.
3:37 to go. You're watching third quarter action on the PIAA Boys Quad A Championship game. Chester leads by 2. Check in with Bill Richardson, who's down with the Chester cheerleaders. Bill?
Well, you know, we've talked all year about getting things ready in history and all this. You know, Chester's been to the tournament 9 times in the finals. And just like they build on the basketball court, they build with their cheerleaders. They start early here. We've got their cheerleaders there. Now we have the next generation of cheerleaders right here. And we go down here, and we got even one more ready to be coming. The cheerleaders are ready to go. They're going to try to make this yet another factor. The crowd wants to get into it, and it's their job to make the crowd the 6th man here in the final moments.
Since they went to 4A basketball here in Pennsylvania in 1984, Chester has won 1 state championship. Erie has won 1 state championship. Chester's in 1989 when they beat Brashear here 72-57, and of course last year 41-30 was the score when Erie Cathedral Prep managed to eke out the first one ever for the West. The West is 1-9 in this championship in that period of time.
As we take you around the arena, 3:37 to go. We are watching third quarter action. Chester leads by 2.
Cathedral Prep coming out in a face guard man-to-man. That means they're looking right into your chest, turning their back to the ball. They want to encourage you to have to throw it deep.
Here's Raymond Carroll across the timeline. He's got 15 tonight. Maltby has 13 for Chester.
Get that amoeba matchup type of zone where it just moves around to match your offense.
Carroll springs free. Nice movement around the dial, and Carroll has 17. Chester by 4.
The ball moved quicker than the zone did, and another great shot by Carroll in his favorite spot in the baseline.
Boy, Nice saved the day that time, trying to dribble it through. Ball still on the deck. Battle for Ryan, keeps it alive for Keith Anthony.
Ryan went down on one knee, kept his pivot foot intact, and that's why he could get up and come away with the basketball without getting called for the walk.
Duck having trouble now with a crossover dribble. Boy, walking right through there.